cheaper to get materials in the stratosphere. And the one problem we don't have is that this is too expensive. All the problems with SRM are about who controls it and what the environmental risks are, not how much it costs. It's already cheap. So from my point of view, I thought that was a very misguided way to start experimentation.
But my point is not so much the sort of the worth of the science, but more about the public outcry about it. I mean, if it was that benign, it must be a cause of concern for you that there was this outcry and a decision to postpone it for 6 months.
My job is to help say the science clearly and help people think about the governance. It's not to promote this. So actually,
well, it is in part to promote this. I mean, you're a great enthusiast for this, and as you said, you have your own private company, which is...
my private company works on a very different part of it, which doesn't suffer from these governance challenges.
But it is all to do with the issue of geoengineering. I mean, you know it's an incredibly sensitive topic.
I absolutely do, but I actually don't think my job is promoting it. My job is to help clear thinking and clear knowledge about the tools we have to regulate climate risk, among them this one. And I'm perfectly prepared to find the results show that we should never do this.
Well, do you think in that case that the current climate, in terms of the political climate, is overheated? Or do you think it's actually fair enough that people might be very concerned about these sorts of experiments?
I think it's healthy that people are concerned. People should be concerned about cheap technologies that can manipulate the entire planet's climate. But don't be so sure which way the public outcry went. So we actually ran a survey almost a year ago now that took data, high-quality data, from 1,000 people in the UK, Canada, and the US to try and understand public support for research on these technologies and what kind of political leanings influence people's decision to be for or against. And in fact, we found pretty broad support for research. So it's not clear that that is changed. What's clear is that some groups have been vocal trying to oppose, and I think it's absolutely reasonable that they should. These are hard topics.
But that particular opinion survey that you're talking about, it also came up with the finding that 64% of subjects agree that humans should not be manipulating nature in the way suggested by solar radiation management.
Exactly.
Well, that would suggest that there isn't particularly broad support at the moment for the theory behind this.
There's not broad support for doing it, and I think that's quite a healthy thing. I mean, I'm one of the people who, maybe starting 20 years ago, most helped to open the door to get public conversation going on this thing. My current fear is that the door will be kicked open and people will rush forward to do it too quickly. So from my point of view, given how cheap it is and the extent to which it looks like a quick fix, I am not eager to have the public run away in support. Indeed, I think that would be a disaster. Because if there was strong public support, people would do it, and they do it without adequate tests, without adequate control, and it would be a disaster. So I'm not in favor of immediate action.